This is Nick Nilsson, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a review of the XT Max from Xero Shoes. Now this is a new model that they've just come out with. I get a lot of questions, to be honest, on what I wear when I'm training, what kind of shoes am I wearing. This is what kind of shoes I'm wearing. I've been using the Xero Shoes Prios for years. This is a new model that they just came out with here in 2026, and I'll give you kind of a rundown of my experience with this. Overall, I'm a big fan of Xero Shoes. I love the fact that they have solid soles on here that you can actually feel contact with the ground with. They don't have an elevated heel. Like when you're wearing running shoes for squats, deadlifts, that kind of thing, having that extra built-up heel and that squishiness, it tends to, I find, at least for myself, doesn't give you a good feel and contact with the ground. So when you try to generate force into a squishy sole, it kind of dissipates some of that force. I don't like the regular running shoes for training having that height. This keeps you in closer contact with the ground, which I find ideal for pretty much all forms of weight training. If you do a lot of current training wearing high-heeled shoes when you're doing squats, you will notice a difference in terms of your calf and ankle flexibility and mobility. So that is something you will probably find you need to work on when you're doing regular squats, if you do find yourself pitching forward when using like a Xero shoe, which is zero heel elevation. Now, what you will notice here is the white soles. So these are designed for indoor training. They can be used as court shoes. They can be used in an indoor situation only. I wouldn't use these outside because these soles are going to get, dirty, obviously. So much more appropriate for indoor training. For gym training like this, it's perfect. Now, this color, I like this color. Matchy-matchy. These laces are not your normal laces. They're kind of like bowstring laces or bolo laces. So they're on here. They've got this little clip right here. And all you need to do once you put your shoe on, slide that down, tuck that in, and you're good to go. So it doesn't actually have tie-up laces. It's not Velcro, but it's, I find it very quick and easy to get these on and use them, which I like. Now, in terms of construction and quality, I really like Xero Shoes. Let me grab my Prios here. These I've been wearing, they're getting a little bit beat up. Some of the things are starting to go on the side here. I've had these probably for like 8 years. So I've been doing all the insane stuff you see me doing for years and years and years with these things. So I don't see these being any less of a quality. And I do have to tell you, I literally know the owner of the company here. And if you ever have any issues in terms of quality, I know he would absolutely replace these shoes for you and make sure that you're satisfied with the quality of what you're getting, because that kind of thing is really important to him. Now, again, I love I can't tell you enough. I actually have a pair of these shoes. I've got, well, I'll even show you here. These are their outdoor speed training shoes. I've had these for a while. I use those. I've got their outdoor boots. I've got their hiking boots. I've got literally like 6 different pairs of these Xero shoes, and I'm happy with every single one of these, and these are no exception. I really like these. They're a little more solid in terms of the toe box. So, if you're ever in a situation where, obviously don't drop weights on your foot, but these kind of in this toe area, this is more solid material than the Prios, I find. It's going to give you a little more protection if you if a weight tips over on your shoe. It's not going to do anything if you're dropping plates on your shoes and stuff, but this is going to give you a little bit more stability and solidity in this area. If you're not used to shoes that have zero elevation or barefoot shoes, it's going to take some getting used to. You're going to love it, I think, because I personally find that they're so much better for training that I don't even want to train in any other shoes. Even when I go to a regular gym, I bring these shoes in my gym bag and I make sure that I'm training with a pair of zero elevation shoes that I can keep good contact with the ground, and I find it makes a big difference with training. So if you're interested in trying some of these Xero shoes, this is, again, the XT Max. It's not a new shoe that they just come out with, and something I would definitely recommend, especially if you're, like I said, looking for a good pair of training shoes that are going to give you some protection and the zero elevation, which is really important, I find, in a training shoe, unless you're doing like Olympic lifting where you need that solid elevated block.